right, folks, we are back. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Bermas sitting in. We're streaming live at prisonplanet.tv right now. I want to thank another one of our great sponsors, Diginet.net. That's Diganet.net. I want to tell you about our sponsor, Diginet.net. Okay, these guys have the best surveillance systems. You can hook things up in your car. They have the DigiPens, great quality. I think it's 640 by 480, which is standard definition. You won't believe the video, and no one will know the wiser. I mean, you literally just set your pen up right here. Or, I mean, some of the many things that they have are just completely unbelievable. The hard drives get bigger and bigger every day. You won't believe how much stuff you can store. It's Diginet.net. Now, I'm going to try to take one or two calls. We'll try to go to Steve and Chris in a moment. But first, I want to play this clip again of Representative Joseph Pitts on the House floor out of Pennsylvania talking about the eugenics program that the elite carry out daily.
Thank you. For what purpose is the gentleman from Pennsylvania? Gentleman's recognized.
Mr. Speaker, last week's New York Times Magazine featured an interview with Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Some of her comments were absolutely astonishing, coming from a sitting Supreme Court justice. But the most disturbing comment came in reference to abortion. In reference to Roe v. Wade, the infamous Supreme Court case, she said this, quote, "Frankly, I had thought that at the time Roe was decided, there was concern about population growth, and particularly growth in populations that we don't want to have too many of," end quote. I cannot imagine any acceptable context in which a serious person could refer to populations that we don't want too many of. This eugenic way of thinking debases the value of all human life. All people are created equal and deserve the most fundamental right to life, no matter what race, religion, or socioeconomic background. I am shocked that a member of the Supreme Court believes that a compelling reason for the legality of abortion is because our society wants to reduce the growth of specific populations. Justice Ginsburg's comments are an assault and insult to the values of the American people. I yield back.
All right, there he is again. Just an amazing speech on the House floor, and bravo, Mr. Pitts. All right, let's go to Steve in Pennsylvania. Steve, you're on the line.
I just first off want to thank Congressman Pitts for, supporting our rights, and I wanted to make a point regarding common misconception about robotics.
Okay.
I actually study robotics, and one of the things I'm some kind of part of an organization, one of the things they strive for is being autonomous. Mm-hmm. And that is self-sufficiency. And that's, you see that with these man-eater robots. Mm-hmm. They want to create robots that can tell where they are and gain the necessary energy to do a task. Mm-hmm. That is the forefront of everything we're trying to do. And it's important not to underestimate the intelligence level of the people behind this field.
Well, look, the way I'm looking at it, man, is that public technology is at least 20 or 30 years behind what they have in closed doors and underground facilities in these Lockheed Martin and DARPA institutes. Let's be honest. Again, if the Nazis had the stealth bomber and it took almost 70 years to make that public knowledge, what else are they hiding from us? If they're rolling out glow-in-the-dark pigs and dogs, what else have they done with bioengineering behind closed doors? I mean, obviously something else is going on. And yes, there are some very intelligent people out there. I mean, how far was it 20 years ago? It's the Alex Jones Show. We'll be back after this. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.tv.
In Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, folks, we are live. I am Jason Bermas sitting in for Alex Jones. Obama has tough love message for African Americans. Now, again, when you read this, it's kind of insulting to me. Because this isn't just, and again, being a sports hero or a rap star isn't exclusive to the quote-unquote African-American community. It is all over. It's pop culture, baby. I mean, if you go down to Mississippi, is it any worse for a white kid to have the same dream of being an athletic star or maybe instead of a rapper, a country star? And believe me, there are kids in Mississippi listening to the rap. It's all over the place. It's an old form of music now. It's been around almost 30 years. It's at its crescendo in pop culture. So a lot of this stuff is just totally mindless and totally insulting, in my opinion. We need a new mindset, as though he's part of the African-American community, folks. He's half white. His father had tons of money, tons of women. He was a polygamist. Okay, he had several wives all over. He traveled the world. He's an internationalist. He doesn't know what being a poor African-American is. He never knew that. Oh, I know, he was taken care of by his grandmother. He has such a hard luck story. He smoked meth. Oh, President Obama, we can relate to you on so many levels. We need a new mindset, a new set of attitudes, because one of the most durable and destructive legacies of discrimination is the way that we have internalized the sense of limitation. What? We have internalized a sense of limitation based on discrimination? I think that that's totally just condescending. How so many in our community have come to expect so little of ourselves? Sir, that's beyond the African-American community, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the world, not even the world, there are some go-getters out there. You see people in third world and second world nations really working, 16, 18 hours a day to try to get somewhere in life, to try to take care of their family. Here, there's a sense of entitlement. It's not just black people. There's plenty of white people who are lazy out there that have a sense of entitlement. And we like that. See, that's what he doesn't tell you. The social engineers, his bosses, actually like you to be dependent on social services, dependent on the federal government, dependent on these programs. But see, now he's setting you up to get into a new kind of program, a community program, City Year, or some other AmeriCorps-type job. Obama had a packed ballroom at a Manhattan hotel that blacks need to recapture the spirit of civil rights movement of a half-century ago to tackle problems and have struck African Americans disproportionately, joblessness, spiraling health care costs, and HIV/AIDS. Well, maybe you shouldn't develop bioweapons that are race-specific then. Huh? Not that you did it. Your handlers, your bosses did it. But Obama, give me a break with this garbage. This is garbajo. The real civil rights movement is the Patriot movement, is the 9/11 Truth movement. We're the ones that want civil rights for all human beings. We don't like being discriminated against because we make $30,000 a year, or we make $15,000 a year, or we don't live in a nice house. We don't like being discriminated against because we're the little guy. It doesn't have anything to do with the color of your skin. Get it through your heads, people. This is a war not only on the poor, but the middle class and the upper middle class. All you yuppies out there, guess what? There ain't a place at the table for you either. Maybe 1 out of 10 of you will work in some kind of like slave CAO office, or, be a real important person over at the FEMA camps. Maybe you will be able to take care of your family on the slave grid, a few of you. But believe me, your standard of living is going down with the rest of us that survived this mess. So again, the real civil rights movement is the Patriot movement, are the people that want more liberty, more freedom. They want the Constitution and Bill of Rights. They want less government. They want accountability. They don't want massive bailouts. That's a no-no. They don't want bankruptcies and bailouts of industries that are just going to be put into this grid, this North American Union grid, like Chrysler. We don't want that. We don't want health bills and climate change bills that are only going to tax and enslave us. We're against that too. That's the real movement. We'll be back after this. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.